is a bear, by nature plain, a bear of very little brain, who has an open, cheerful way, takes pleasure in the everyday, is friends with piglet, rabbit too, tigger, owl, kangaroo, and Eeyore, though a gloomy soul, has his own distinctive role. One day this bear by name of Pooh was troubled by a thing or two, and burdened with unusual care decided he would take the air. He pondered as he stumped along on what was right and what was wrong. His mind was shaken by a doubt. Could he perhaps be missing out? He thought of Owl, who seemed so wise, of Rabbit and his enterprise, of Tigger with his bounce and go, of Eeyore, who in spite of woe was managing his mental health. The others seemed to have such wealth of things to be and things to do. Oh dear, oh bother, murmured Pooh. He felt the questions zooming home like bees upon a honeycomb. Was he really meant to be a nothing and a nobody? Was he destined to remain a bear of very little brain? He pondered thus, it seemed a shame. Could he somehow change his name? It happened in the neighbourhood, so termed the 100-acre wood, there chanced to be an ancient sage, a venerable personage. It happened that this gentleman encountered there no other than a bear who wanted to attain a rather larger size of brain. An ancient Taoist passing through a most auspicious rendezvous, but Bear was doubtful what to say to this exponent of the way. To this exponent of the Tao, he thought perhaps he ought to bow. It seemed the proper thing to do, because the sage was bowing too. "O bear of open soul," said he, "O bear of great simplicity, you've found the path to all things true, disciple of the way of Pooh." And Bear turned red, if teddies can, to hear this from the gentleman. Could these remarks on chances slim incredibly refer to him? Disciple of the way of Pooh. Pooh was his name, so much was true, and yet Bear gave his head a shake, and thought there must be some mistake. "I am," he said, "I should explain, a bear of very little brain." The Taoist smiled and waved a hand. "That's why," said he, "you understand. You understand the something more, the thing that others just ignore. For many dissipate their powers in saving minutes, wasting hours. The way cannot be reached," he said, "by only thinking with the head, and too much bounce and enterprise is not the wisdom of the wise." They talked together, sage and bear, of what can happen anywhere, for those whose efforts don't disperse the secret of the universe, until it seemed their words addressed the wisdom of the East and West. And then the Taoist said, "Good day," and, smiling, went upon his way. That night, this most astute of bears bumped his accustomed way upstairs, saw the familiar nursery scene and thought of how his day had been. He thought about the incident, of how the conversation went. He found he couldn't quite recall and said, "I'm muddling it all." Was it about a something more? Bear found he was no longer sure. How had the something more begun? Behind the thing, perhaps someone. He thought he shouldn't overlook. He thought he'd seen it in a book. Had he seen it there today? The one who said, "I am the way." But who could come to, who survey, the one who says, "I am the way"? Tiptoe to the nursery there, glimpse the bed, the nursery chair, the dressing gown, the bedclothes piled, a place to enter like a child. A bear upon the counterpane, a bear of very little brain. Hush, hush, whisper who dares. One little boy is saying his prayers.